Welcome to the Awakening Women podcast. I'm your host, Leanne Oaten, and for almost a decade, I have been a transformation coach and therapist. This podcast is all about lifting the veil of consciousness and awakening to the truth. It is also about helping you to raise the bar in all areas of your life and relationships by starting with you. If you're ready to take back your personal power and reclaim your life, you have come to the right place. I'm so glad that you're here, so let's get started with today's episode. This is a Get Real wake-up call episode for you if you are really feeling the impact or you're unaware of the impact that your relationship is having on you. If you are living with constant abuse cycles, constant fuckery and manipulation and lying and cheating and gaslighting, and it just feels like a constant battle, an uphill battle to live with the person that you're living with. When we have children and we have a home and we have everything under the sun that we need to take care of, and we have a quote unquote partner, for lack of a better term, I don't even like using that word in these situations because truly partner means equal, we're working together. There are two people tackling something together equally as much as possible. Like, hey, I'm here for you, you're here for me, we're on the same team. That is not happening if you are with someone who is, whether it's emotional immaturity, whether it is narcissism, whether it's they're abusive or all of the above. What it is doesn't matter. It's what is it doing to you. And I've always said that is it's not about the label or the diagnostics. It's what is living in this doing to you. If you are truly dealing with someone who has personality disorder or they have some kind of psychological issue that prevents them from being able to reflect, take accountability, and change their behavior to actually be able to be there for you in the ways that you need and that you deserve, then it's not going to change. Like if they don't actually have that capacity or that desire to even want to do that with you. So you have to stop analyzing, stop psychoanalyzing their behavior, realize where they're available for you and where they're not. So there may be some areas that they are available to you, sometimes intermittently, once in a while. It's never consistent. You'll always feel like you actually don't have that person in your corner, like who's really here for you. And you'll always have that question in the background of your mind. And that alone in itself is not a nice feeling when you share kids in a home and a life with someone that you feel like just doesn't get you or isn't actually there for you. When someone is available emotionally or otherwise, it's never going to work unless you self-abandon and pretend you don't have needs for something deeper. If you want to pretend that and abandon what you need and settle for less, that's an option for sure. But what we're going to talk about here on this episode is the cost of being in a relationship that is holding you back, whatever you want to call it. You know on some level that this relationship is holding you back or that you are allowing it to. We have to take ownership for our traits, our tendencies toward allowing things, not speaking up, allowing someone to dominate over and have control. And when you're with these controlling, manipulative types, you feel oftentimes like you have no say, that you're bulldozed over, that they have the final say, and they are the ones that are controlling the relationship. They have all the power. You don't feel like you have any autonomy, any say, and what they say goes. It's just this iron fist, like this is just how it is, and this is my reality, and you're going to have to be okay with that reality. I don't really care what your version of reality is. This is my version of reality, and I don't want to hear about the truth. I don't want to hear about what you might have to say, because what I say goes, and the way I see reality goes, and my rules are the rules. You don't get to dictate, and you cannot be in a safe, healthy, thriving relationship with someone like that. So it doesn't matter why they are the way they are. It matters what is it costing you to be in this situation. So the first is that the chaos they bring throws you into hero mode. We've talked about this in other places, the helping, enabling, rescuing, and overfunctioning. It throws you into that mode, and other areas of your life get pushed aside to constantly be putting out those fires that their actions or inactions, mind you, their inactions can cause just as much chaos that they are creating. So it's things like dropping a commitment. Suddenly, you have plans that you're going away for work, or you're going out of town for some reason, or you have some plans, and suddenly they need to leave town and you are stuck with the kids. It's too bad, because their work or whatever they have that came up is the thing that takes precedence. It's the most important. So what you have to deal with is kind of on your own. That's neither here nor there. You need to figure that out, because what they have to do is more important. You'll be left to feel like you are on your own. The next is that dealing with the constant nonsense, the arguments, the circular conversations and conflicts, the fuckery, and you operating too much in your masculine energy burns out our adrenal system. As women, yes, men can get adrenal burnout too, but women are much more susceptible to this because stress impacts our entire hormonal system. So when our sex hormones are off, mainly progesterone, it throws off our adrenal function. So it creates this cascade of dysregulation. And there's no medical test from a GP that will diagnose adrenal fatigue. You have to go to a functional practitioner or a naturopathic doctor to get more preventative testing done. Like, I see this as a preventative thing. You don't want to leave it till you can go to your MD and he can diagnose that your adrenals have totally failed. That would show up on a test. So I'm here to say, like, I have had a long, long journey with recovering from totally fried adrenal system and hormonal system. I'm still to this day dealing with things, and I'm very sensitive to stress. So when things are going sideways, or I've got a lot of stuff going on, like right now, so much is going on with graduation and my daughter's final dance recitals. Like, she's graduating, there's all this stuff. She's going on a trip in July with her dance group. So there's all this stuff going on. My car is acting up. There's just been lots, like so many different things happening all at one time. And I notice that when I'm going through periods of stress, like, I'm very sensitive to it. My body responds to it. But when you are in a relationship where the stress is unrelenting, like I'm talking about, this is like a different kind of stress. This is not, there is a certain amount of stress to it when you feel like you're managing everything on your own. And I'll be honest, like, when you leave one of these relationships, your workload doesn't really change all that much. I mean, really, it doesn't. You don't have that resentment of having to do more work that they put on you, or mess they leave behind, or shit that they don't deal with. You don't have that resentment there, and then having to actually deal with that person in your space. Still, you're going to have stress, but it's a different kind of stress. It's not the unrelenting, emotionally draining, toxic stress. This is stress that you can manage through prioritizing, asking for help, getting coaching, getting support, self-care, dealing with your tasks that you need to do and dealing with them head on, asking, delegating, all of those things. So you can manage those types of things. Whereas when you're with someone that is creating all the chaos in the home, you can't manage that because you can't control that. That's not within your control. All you can do is focus on yourself. So back to what I was saying is that when we're operating in the masculine push, do energy, where we're always doing, putting out fires, planning, doing everything, while they are just maybe going to work and coming home. Like, that might be the only thing that they actually provide. And they think that that means they are off the hook for having to do anything else in the home with the kids or anything of that sort. This is when our adrenal system will crash. And then what happens is we're too emotionally and mentally and physically exhausted to work toward our goals, whether it's you have a business, or you're in school, or you have a career, or you have financial goals you're wanting to hit in your business or career, or you have health goals, or any other goals. They take the back burner because the chaos is what's getting all of your attention, which is what they're wanting. They're trying to be the loudest person in the room to get your attention. Right? To get all the attention and to create the chaos, then they have control, right? So you get to choose to not join that circus. Even when you're in this relationship, you can choose to not join the circus and pull that energy and put it toward your own growth, to your own stuff, to your own goals. The next is that you're doing all the work with the house, the kids, working, running a business, plus the work they add, not cleaning up messes. They also make, they leave things behind. They don't really clean up after themselves. There could be something sitting and clear as day that looks like it needs doing, and they'll walk by it 50 times. So everything is left for you to deal with, and you build this resentment and anger. It's like, did you not walk by that basket of clean towels you can see I haven't gotten to for the last 3 days? And like, try it. You leave a pile of towels out somewhere and it will not get touched. It'll just get left there. So that kind of stuff builds resentment. Now, does that mean that if you're not living with this person anymore, you're not going to have piles of towels? No, but you won't have the resentment necessarily that you have someone that's living there that's also using the towels that you're washing, and they don't even think to go, oh, let me just fold these and put them away since they're right there in the way, or piled on the bed or wherever, right? Anyways, that is a big one. That's a hot button for me, let me tell you. That is something that really, really gets me angry, is the entitlement around that, if I just leave things, you're going to have to take care of it. Or if you work from home, which a lot of us do, if you're running a business, you may work from home. And so it's automatically assumed that because you're working from home, you should be able to do all the home chores on your own as well. Instead of looking at it like, no, this is a 9 to 3 job, and then I have to go get kids and deal with kids after school while you're at work. Like we're doing it all, literally. The next is that the constant negative energy impacts your mood, inspiration, and your inner state. This makes it really difficult to reach for more when you feel weighted down and depressed. Like your goals might feel like a pipe dream. You might just feel so heavy with everything that you're dealing with. And this goes back to the previous episode, how we do one thing is how we do everything, because we can't blame the relationship entirely. We have to take ownership for our own tendencies and habits and behaviors and personality traits that might lead us to get too wrapped up in things that really we shouldn't be focusing on, and we're neglecting what we need to do. So it can become a form of self-sabotage to be focusing on the relationship, focusing on your partner, getting him to change, fix, micromanaging, controlling, so that you don't have to deal with over here what's within you that needs dealing with. So that's the work that I have women do when we work together, is you are putting all of that to the side and you're bringing the focus to yourself, because that's all you have control over. The next is because you're doing it all with zero support, your energy is scattered, and up-leveling your life, health, or career is pushed to the bottom of the priority list. You're constantly being whipped around by every wind. You have no grounding, no footing, no foundation. That is your own work to do. You can be doing that work now so that you are rooted strongly and anchored, no matter what is going on around us, because life is going to happen, right? Things are going to happen, and it's a matter of what are we going to do about that, right? Like there's these whole ideas, and they're beautiful ideas, like the Abraham Hicks and those types of manifestation principles of life is meant to be easy. It should feel easy. Well, so when it's not, am I doing something wrong? Because to me, that kind of stuff just feels worse. It feels better to me to go, okay, all of this is going on and it's not easy. What can I do to create more ease? I like to shift it to, what can I do? Do I need to keep sitting and working on something that's not working, or can I go for a walk? Do I need to respond to this particular email right now that's triggering me from whoever? Could be anyone. Or can I just go do something else right now to take my focus off of it and then deal with it when I feel more aligned inside myself? What can I do to create some space between? So maybe there are things that you do need to do that are going to need to be done, but where can you create some space in there so that it feels more easeful? So it is about being in alignment and being self-connected and rooted and anchored within ourselves. That's a huge part of it. but we need to be managing our own energy. And if we are allowing everything external to be the controller of our energy, our state, our mood, what we do, what we don't do, we will always be screwed. It doesn't have to be just with this particular person or intimate relationship. This can be with anything. There's always going to be something tugging and needing our attention. Sometimes in life, so many things are going on at once. You're like, what else is next? You know, those moments where it literally feels like, what else can go wrong here? Like, I don't even want to know. And when I catch myself saying that, I'm like, stop, do not put that into the ethers of like, what else could go wrong? That's not a good affirmation. But it's like when everything seems to kind of be falling apart, I like to see it as, okay, this is rearranging for something else on the other side. Like, instead of thinking, oh my gosh, everything's going downhill, it's going to get worse, I'm going to get worse, this is going to get worse, whatever catastrophic thinking that we can go into, is catching ourselves in that place and pulling our energy in and going, okay, so what do I need right now? Like, what do I need to do to take care of me in this? Because I can't necessarily control the outcome of these things and whatever those are. But what I can control is me. How am I taking care of my business? So it's putting your needs, your health, your life, your goals, your career, your work, your business at the forefront. And of course, your kids are in there too, but your partner, spouse, he gets a different place in the priority, the priority sequence. That's the goal. And the next way that you are held back from your relationship is that from the relentless stress in your taxed hormone system, you have no energy to exercise, and you can often use food, sugar, carbs, all the things to soothe your emotions, because it's usually not things like celery sticks, apples, carrot sticks. I mean, maybe sometimes, but typically when we are stress eating, we want the carbs, the sugar, the comfort foods, right? So this in turn can cause weight gain, which deepens depression and lowers self-worth and self-esteem, because you're feeling bad about yourself. So you're eating food that makes you feel bad, and then it makes you gain weight, and you don't like what you see in the mirror. That makes you feel worse. So you eat more food. It's this vicious cycle. I used to specialize in helping women out of these cycles of emotional eating, binge eating, restricting, over-exercising, the obsession with diets and scales and numbers and tracking food and all this stuff. Women that were into really addictive, unhealthy patterns with food. So, and I do tend to still work with women that don't necessarily realize that that's what's going on, but as we work together, that comes out in the sessions, right? So if you can resonate with that, realize that you have to deal with the underlying healing aspects that need to be looked at to heal those patterns. So if any of these resonate with you, I invite you to do something today. So what I have done is I've just taken a little bit of a pivot with what I'm doing in my coaching. And as I said, I think in the last episode, I am taking one-to-one clients right now through an application process where you can book a call to get on with me to talk about what that might look like. I do a quick assessment of your situation and let you know if the one-to-one coaching is the best, or if maybe the group coaching program is better for you, depending on where you're at. I also am changing how I'm enrolling into and the Cycle Evolve at this time. And instead of just being able to enroll yourself, I've adjusted some things and tweaked some things so that what this actually looks like right now is you need to book a call with me to be accepted into the program. What I'm doing is refining it into more of a 3-month intensive. And so this is a container where you come in and you sort out what you're doing next in your relationship. That's the goal of this program. You're going to do all of this work that we talk about here, the inner work, the clarity, the focusing on yourself. Like, what is that inner work? That's what this is. And so in this 3-month, 90-day container, you will go through the program. You will have the group support. The ladies in there are awesome, and they are supportive of one another. So you can post in there, you can post questions. I will answer any questions that are posted. And then twice a month, you can get on a live call to get coaching with me. And my guarantee and my promise is that every woman that wants coaching I will stay on until everybody gets their coaching. That is the goal. It's not going to be one of these big, massive, overwhelming programs where maybe 3 people get coaching and you're just sitting there listening. There is benefit to hearing other women getting coached, mind you, huge benefit, because sometimes you see yourself in others and they're putting it into words that in a way you couldn't, and it all comes together. But if you are actually wanting to get on with me and get live coaching, you will get that time twice a month plus the group support. So to get on a call with me where I will do a quick assessment of your situation, this happens with the 1-to-1 and also the 3-month coaching. I'll put a link in the show notes here so that you can book that call with me. The other option is you can go to Leanneoten.com/programs, and that will take you to more details about the call, the step-by-step process. You have to answer some questions before you book the call, and we'll get on a quick call and I will help you determine if joining the coaching group is what's right for you, or if maybe the 1-to-1 is better for you. But the biggest change I'm making right now is that for now, I am only enrolling into both programs with a quick call prior. This is to make sure that the right women are in there, women that are ready for this work, women that are serious about their growth and transformation, because it is an investment and in your time, energy, money, yes, all those things. So you need to be in the right headspace to show up. Like, I don't want anyone coming in and then not doing the work or not doing the program, not showing up to the calls. So I want to make sure that the women that are in the container, that are in the group, they're showing up, because that's the kind of space I want to create, is women who are determined to show up for themselves. What I've noticed over the years is when I have tested few things like the self-study, a lot of women would purchase that program and some of them didn't even log in, because I can go in and see. I see you. If you're one of those that you've finished like module 0 and haven't gone back, I can see. So I'm using a lot of this data to sort of figure out what is the best way to do this to get the women that are ready to the finish line, which is getting the hell out of the relationship. That's the goal that I have for you. But I know that there's no timeline. There's no telling anybody what to do. My goal for you is to get you out of a toxic, unhealthy situation and for you to never end up there again. And that's why when you join the 3-month intensive, you have the option to continue on for another 3 into level 2, where you go through the thriving beyond toxic relationships phase when you've left. So there's that option to continue on to level 2 as well. So I'm excited about this new way of doing it. It is going to be more time on my part to get on calls with women, but because summer is coming and my schedule opens up a lot more, because I'm not driving teenagers all over the city and doing school pickup, and just my energy will be less scattered. I will be more available to actually put some attention toward this. And my goal is to make this not a massive, huge, overwhelming group, but an intimate, smaller group, even if I have to make them into cohorts, so that the groups are smaller and you feel like you're getting the attention that you want in the group and it's not too overwhelming with too many people. So that's where I'm at. I'm feeling really good about making this shift and looking forward into summer, and I'm looking forward to supporting those of you that are feeling this pull to want to jump in, and you've been kind of feeling like, I don't know if it's right for me, or you maybe want to chat with me first or ask some questions about the program. So when we get on a call, I will assess where you're at, and then we can decide what the best path forward is from there. So go ahead and book that call, click the link in the show notes, or you can just head to my website, Leanneoten.com, and there will be a tab there for working with me as well. So there's a few different options to get on that call with me. And I look forward to meeting you and talking with you. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Awakening Women podcast. If you love this show and it has served you and helped you on your journey, please take a moment right now and leave a rating and review in iTunes and Spotify. If you'd like more daily content, videos, and inspiration, come on over and join me at Awakening Women Support Official over on Instagram, where we can connect and you can continue your transformation and growth journey. And I'll see you online. Take care.